Hello, welcome to Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh's Kids Club at Home. My name is Kate and I'm happy that you are here. It's May, which means that it is Remake Learning Days. Remake Learning Days is a festival of learning experiences for children of all ages that are hands-on, engaging, equitable, and free. To find out more about programs hosted by organizations in our area, you can follow the link in the last slide. In today's activity, we will use the power of air pressure to make inflatable toys using supplies that you probably already have at home. It's a simple project designed to show how we can harness the power of air. For basic introductions to science topics of all types, I want to recommend this new book called The STEAM Team Explains, written by Steve Setford and Trent Kirkpatrick. As you'll see, its text and illustrations are really engaging and are perfect for school-age children, preschoolers and school-age children and their caregivers. So it starts out with biology. It's got some earth science and outer space, states of matter, forces, light, engineering, and planes and rockets. In today's activity, we are going to incorporate concepts of art and science, aka STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. We're going to create some cute inflatable toys. And then after we create those toys and talk a little bit about air pressure, the next step is encouraging kids to tinker with their new toys using the supplies that they have to modify the size and the shape. So tinkering encourages tapping into your own inspiration and creativity. Likewise, participating in STEAM activities encourages children to figure out which methods and applications work best for them. And in playing around with these inflated bags, we're going to make some different shapes when inflating them and also make some cool characters. For today's icebreaker question, I would like to know, what is your favorite way to spend a day off? So, would you prefer to meet up with some friends and have a pickup game of basketball or soccer? Would you prefer to go to the science center or the museum for the day? Would you prefer to get together and hang out with some family from out of town? Would you like to go on a shopping spree? Or would you just prefer to stay home, play video games, binge TV, or sleep? Drop us a line in the comments and let us know what your perfect day would be. And as always, we would love to hear your programming ideas, so you can also drop in the comments your suggestions for future activities or reach out to us on social media. Let's get started creating our inflatables. You may have received a kit for today's activity, a grab-and-go kit, which are available at various CLP locations. If you didn't get a kit, that's okay, but if you're curious about them, your adult can call 412-622-3114 to find out more about our kits. So like I said, if you don't have a kit, that's fine, because you can do this activity with supplies that you have at home. I gathered up some different things that are pretty easy to find. So I have some goldfish bags. You could also use chip bags, but you want to wash them with soap, dry them out, obviously empty the food out. You're going to need some tape. Probably wouldn't hurt to have some glue, stapler, scissors, and then you're gonna need some straws or straw pieces, and then maybe some pipe cleaners, I have some tissue paper. You might want to add googly eyes like I did. You could use junk mail, colored paper, whatever you have at home. If you don't have a chip bag or you don't have the goldfish bags, what are some other things that you think you might be able to inflate? I was thinking maybe a sandwich bag might work, or you could create a pocket out of foil, or you could seal up some pieces of paper and make a pocket out of that and fill that with air. But the whole idea is that you're creating a sealed bag of air. So think about what you might have at home and what you might think could work. But make sure you check in with your adult and ask them before you use any supplies. Thanks. All right, let's get started on making our inflatable. So the first thing you're gonna do is get your scissors and your bag. Now it's gonna depend on whether or not you have a chip bag or a goldfish bag. But what you want to do is cut off the seams just to make it easier for when we seal it up. So this goldfish bag has seams on the bottom and on the top. So we're just gonna very carefully cut off this bottom seam and cut off the top seams. That way when we seal it back up, it'll be a little bit smoother. All right, great. And then the next thing you're gonna do is cut along the side. There we go. So now we have it completely open. And what you're gonna do is cut it in half. And I think what we could do is use this one to make a larger inflatable and then cut this one in half to make two smaller ones. Let's give it a try. Okay, the next thing we need to do, now that we have sealed up bags, is insert the straws. So, grab your straws. You're not going to insert the straw very far into the bag. You maybe want to cut off about an inch. And then you're gonna need to cut off a corner of the bag and insert the straw inside. And I just cut the hole way too big. So now I'm gonna have to use the tape to re-tape this hole closed because we don't want any air escaping out. And I can feel the air coming back on me. So you want to make sure that that's pretty tight. Trying them all. All right, so they work. Now is the fun part. Now you can decorate and tinker with your inflatables. So you can use any of the materials that you collected at home, whether it's paper or pipe cleaners, or you might, I think I'm gonna try like stapling different sections together and see how the air fills the bag differently. But you're welcome to modify in any way that you see fit. There's no right way to do this, just make it your own. All right, so I tried to make basically like a snake. So it didn't quite work out, but that's okay because that's the definition of tinkering. But I stapled like along the side, and then I also added a pipe cleaner to the back. And it's hard to see, but there's some googly eyes there. And it seems like maybe what I needed to do actually is move the pipe cleaner up higher so that when it inflated, because it seems like it's making this part move. So it's not perfect, but that's okay because the whole idea is that we are learning through the process. So we'd love to see a picture of yours. You can tag at Carnegie Library if you'd like to share a picture of what you made, and let us know what different techniques you use to make yours. One of the most frequently cited challenges contributing to inequities across science, technology, engineering, and math is that conditions do not affirm or support a diverse student identity. So repeatedly, BIPOC students do not have opportunities to see themselves as scientists or mathematicians. And research shows that one way that we can support underrepresented groups to persevere in STEM education is to help develop their identities as students of science and math. And developing identity means helping children understand and find their own place, and that includes seeing people that look like them in science education and careers. So today I want to share with you 2 books that feature Black and brown girls as the main characters that are drawn to science. And each is driven by their curiosity and enthusiasm for learning. So Cece Loves Science is a series. This one is Cece Loves Science and Adventure. They are written by Kimberly, Derting, and Shelli R. Johannes. And young Cece is bright and spirited, and in the first book, she is encouraged by her teacher to begin a research project on something ordinary that she's curious about. She's curious about what her dog likes to eat, her dog Einstein. So this situation is relatable, and therefore it's very encouraging for young children, and it shows them that they can be free to ask questions, wonder, make meaningful observations, and find a conclusion. It shows that scientific discovery is open to everyone, and I really recommend it. Another book that I want to recommend to you, and I'll pull it up here, it's called The Magnificent Makers, and it's a new first chapter book series written by Theanne Griffith, who is actually a neuroscientist turned author, which is pretty cool. And The Magnificent Makers is about a young girl named Violet, and she's also very eager to learn. And topics in the series so far include the senses, germs, and more. And she and her bestie, Pablo, go on all sorts of adventures together to a place called the Maker Maze, and that's where they solve science-related challenges together. So both of these books are available to order online, to pick up at your favorite library location. And also Cece Loves Science, the first book is available on Hoopla, and The Magnificent Makers is available on Overdrive. And I finally got it up. There it is. It's hard to see, but it's a brand new first chapter series. So it's perfect for, I would say, first graders, second graders, third graders. As I mentioned, Remake Learning Days is happening right now, so you can check out their website to find all sorts of free programming, such as a virtual movie scavenger hunt, a virtual escape room, metal embossing class, outdoor skills class, and more. There's a tremendous diversity of programming, and everyone can find something that interests them. And you can refine your search by type of program, age group, and virtual, in-person, or hybrid programs. So I definitely recommend it. Thank you again for joining me for Kids Club at Home. Again, you can tag at Carnegie Library to share a picture of what you made, and also remember to keep an eye out for grab and go supplies and kits at your neighborhood CLP location. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.